Hello!
Punk Rock Raduno Twitch!
We are live again, streaming from La Spezia and Bergamo.
Yes.
I am
true.
Andrea, and this guy here is Franz.
Hello, Andrea. Nice to see you.
This is the second live streaming of Punk Rock Raduno, and we are going to do this every Sunday night. We're going to have guests. We're going to announce bands that's going to play the festival. The festival is going to happen, of course, Raduno number 5. We say that again. Raduno number 5 is going to happen in next year, 2022. Second Worst Raduno is happening this summer. Which are the dates, Franz?
This summer is going to be Second Worst Raduno 16, 17, and 18th, but mainly 16 and 17th.
Mainly.
And then the 18th too. And 18th, we are going to have a special surprise.
Wow. If you're coming to the hostel, you're going to book 2 nights then. It's going to be Friday and Saturday.
Yes,
because on
correct.
Sunday we're gonna have not a show at night, but it's gonna be like a brunch, early afternoon, and then we say our goodbyes and we can go back to our own business.
Yeah. No, I mean Sunday. I didn't mention the Sunday because I think the Sunday will be a pleasant surprise, but we don't want to spoil the Sunday too much. You know, the Sunday will be a big party on Friday and Saturday, and then big heart attack and a beautiful feeling and bittersweet feeling and nice mood on Sunday, as it should be for the Sundays at Raduno, correct?
That's right. Okay, so Franz, what are we gonna do today? What are we gonna do?
Today, first of all, we are gonna have a guest. First of all, we are gonna say thank you for everyone that watched the live streaming of the last week with Larry Livermore, and now is also available on our YouTube channel. And of course,
congratulations on the interview. The interview was very, very good, Franz. Congratulations.
Thank you to you too, because you came and you conquered the interview.
I just said a few words, but
no, Larry is great. Here is the announcement for Second Worst Raduno. Larry is always great, and we are hoping to have him back. And of course, Sunday nights feels right to have like a chat about our favorite punk rock people and to keep the community together. And it's in the spirit of Punk Rock Raduno. So, of course, tonight we're going to have a new guest, and we are going to have some, questions for him. But most of everything, we want you to have questions for him. So please join the chat, ask him questions. Just feel free about putting out whatever you feel like, in particular if it's nice words for us, because we really need them. And it's just nice to we are here on Twitch every second day now, but it's good to do it with our international friends in English, even if it's English is not our main language. We hope it's enough for you.
Harder for us. We do our best. Please forgive us if we say stupid stuff or make mistakes, but we're trying to stay connected to all our friends all over Europe and also in the States and Canada.
Exactly. And talking about Canada, I want to mention the beautiful Pale Lips with one of my favorite shirts from the Pale Lips. And I really love the Ringer shirts. As you can see, this is probably my favorite Ringer shirt. And I also really enjoy the fact that you brought back the Hawaiian shirt. That's where everything started. That you are the reason why the Hawaiian thing happened, actually, in the world.
So?
Yes.
No,
brought back the Hawaiian shirt.
My thing. I have quite a few.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for the English. It's not bad for Italians, I know. And ciao, Artur. And Pogozin. Subscribe to Pogozin. And everyone, guys. Nice to see you. And also, I think we can also say that, this week me and you are gonna be guests in the beautiful Dummy Room podcast.
Oh, yeah, sure.
we're announcing basically everything, spoiling everything. But yeah, if you want to listen to a podcast this week, make sure it's not Dummy Room with me and Andrea talking about Raduno. But it's fun.
The good thing about doing this live streaming is we can spoil stuff, and also we make it worthwhile maybe to watch for somebody, because we're gonna say things that are not that have not been announced yet, so that makes it a little bit interesting.
Correct, totally correct. So tonight we are gonna announce the first band of the second worst Raduno. And in order to announce that band, we are gonna bring one artist that is playing in this band, but this artist is playing in so many bands that you cannot really guess. It can be at least 5 different options for you. And I'm really happy. I don't know about you, Andrea, but I'm really happy to have him because he's one of those guys that has been always there since 20 or 25 years. He's considered one of the most beautiful people in punk rock business. He's one of the greatest drummers. He's always there when you need him. He's always there when if you need any help, any drumming. He's really like, he's never making a trouble. I don't think anyone.
He's very passionate. I like this guy a lot. I have to say, well, both me and you tour with him. You as a tour manager, I think, and the Apers and the Manjis played many shows together, and also we toured Japan together. So I know the guy quite well, and I like him a lot.
I'm really curious to know
because he's not a front man. So actually, you don't get many chances to, hear his opinion. He doesn't get interviewed a lot. Also, he's not shy. He's just a good guy. Does his drumming thing. He's very passionate. He goes to shows. He plays in a lot of bands, and they're all great. Because of the great scene they have up there in the Netherlands. So, what else can you say?
The first questions, and then we introduce him, is: Does our guest have had any problem or any trouble with anyone? I think he never got into an argument with anyone in life, and now we're gonna ask him directly. Please welcome.
Gossips and dirty anecdotes from his life, if you guys have some of those.
Let's see. So Ivo,
ciao. Hello.
Ciao Ivo.
Buonasera, Franz Porcella e Andrea Carreda.
Yes.
Grazie per l'invito sul tuo stream di Twitch.
Perfect. You're already
for the very kind words you just.
Now they are well deserved, but now we are curious. Do you ever get in argument with people? Because it doesn't seem like that.
I'm really thinking hard about it, but I guess I got into trouble with Marino once and with Kelvin. So those are my own bandmates.
Also, you had a discussion with that. So they must have done something really bad to make you angry.
No, I think it was on me.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. With Kelvin, I got too drunk, and there was no apologies from my side for sure. And with Marino, it was I think it was a long day or week on tour, and it was just
Yeah, well, this is the kind of stuff that can happen. You guys have been playing together for about 30 years, 25 years, I think. So if you got into a fight once, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's true. If you can remember those times so perfectly.
Looks like a great friendship to me.
No, we've had very few arguments and such, I think. So yeah, it's good. If you consider it for all those years, then it's indeed very
and
Yeah,
for so
definitely.
many bands, because let's mention all the bands you are playing in right now. You're playing with Lone Wolf, which is probably your most active band right
Yes.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
or at least before the pandemic. Then
Yeah.
Windowsill, which we didn't mention on the presentation, and I'm sorry about that because it's probably
For a
one of
reason,
your best
probably.
bands. We just wanted to make Marino angry,
Yeah.
to start again an argument with him, and and then the Giant Eagles, which actually just released a new album, and we're going to talk about that. And then you're of course playing since the beginning with the Apers, and then you played with the Bad Bites,
Yeah.
and then what else I'm forgetting right now?
That's probably the first question. How many bands did you play with you?
No, I think that's it. Those are all the bands. So it's 5, I guess.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. And just to know, today we are going to announce which one of these 5 bands is going to play second.
Which one is it going to be?
Yes. What do you think?
Well, I know what it's going to be.
I have an idea. We should talk about bands like we can ask you about bands that are not playing in July in Bergamo first. So
exactly.
we can take them off one by one.
I agree. Good idea. So the first band not playing in Bergamo this July, unfortunately for us and unfortunately for them, is Andrea. Which one? Which one is the first one that we cut off?
I say the Giant Eagles are not playing this year. Yeah, because the fact is that Ivo doesn't know which band we play. He just knows he's drumming. You just know you're drumming.
I'm hearing it tonight. I'm hearing it tonight for the first time.
So yeah, let's talk about Giant Eagles, because first of all, we can already announce the fact that, of course, Giant Eagles was confirmed for Punk Rock Raduno 5 2 years ago. Yes. And the good news is announced also for the next year, the next Punk Rock Raduno 5, which is going to happen next year. And the reason for that is simply, in my opinion, but I don't know if you agree with that, Andrea, is that Giant Eagles never played live, and there is so much expectation and waiting for them to see them, in particular for international friends, that we want everyone to be there. And as next July is going to be impossible, in particular for American friends or Japanese friends to show up. Exactly. We want everyone to enjoy. So Giant Eagles is going to play next year.
What we're going to do is we're trying to confirm most of the Raduno 5 lineup that was supposed to play last year. We're trying to confirm it for next year. Of course, bands like Lillingtons are not really existing anymore, so we cannot say about that. But most of the bands that were supposed to play Raduno number 5 are going to play Raduno number 5, unless somehow they can't. So this is our booking goal for next year. Yeah, and the Giant Eagle was supposed to be such a special event that we'd rather have it next year, because it's just really the first time ever.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. You got to convince Simon for doing this. I don't know. I don't know how we did it. I don't know what you offered him, but
it's the magic of Punk Rock Raduno.
Oh,
we're not paying shit. It's just the magic.
Exactly. As every Raduno, the bands don't basically lose money in playing Raduno. But I can tell you why he confirmed Raduno. He decided to play live for Raduno because he came at least 2 times to Raduno, and every single time I got him drunk and I tried to convince him. I slowly every day you have to play. And at the beginning was no, and after a while, those no were a little bit less no and more like no, and then suddenly became yes.
Maybe. Ivo,
I'm very excited that we can play there with the Giant Eagles, because they wrote Marine and Simon wrote great songs, and I think they should be played live. Like I understand their that they didn't want to do that, and I respect that. Of course, it also creates kind of a magic thing around it.
Yeah.
And but I'm glad we're gonna do it. It's gonna be cool.
It was a surprise for you as well when they decided.
Well, it's been a long going discussion, like you asking and such. So.
And what about your experience with the band? How come they asked you to drum, and how come how just tell us a bit about the band for probably a couple guys that don't know about it.
They Simon and Marine wrote the record and created all the drum parts and guitars parts, like everything. The record was done, the first one, and then they actually recorded it with a different drummer.
Oh, how
yeah,
dare
yeah.
they?
Really?
No, it's like it's
Stuff
perfectly acceptable. But we're not very excited about it afterwards. And then they asked me to give it a try, and it ended up being the first record.
Okay.
And that record created a lot of buzz. Do you think is because the songs are so great, or because the style was a little bit more, unique, or because of the mystery around the band? I mean, of course, we knew that it was you, but the fact that there was this band, like a project that never plays live and stuff.
I think all three of those things you mentioned. First of all, the songs are great. And it had a bit more of a synth vibe, like later Ramon stuff, and the mystery, like yes, but mostly the great songs, I think.
Yeah. But and then last year, I guess, or this year, I don't remember anymore. The new record came out, right? The Second Landing, which also got great reception, and also the first record got reissued after many years of being out of print, and I think that became one of the records of the year in the punk community anyway. So how do you feel about having like that band that you never really played a show, and then suddenly everyone talks about it? And in general, do you think that the pandemic hurt the reception of the record, or it actually helped it because people were staying at home and was able to listen to it?
That's a good one. Well, since we don't play live, we could not really show the world like out there so it was only online. So I guess it helped that the pandemic was there, because I think people stayed home more and listened to more stuff, I guess.
Yep.
And if it's like,
I know this
obviously Raduno would have helped, would have made it something else and maybe bigger or something. Like, we would have played that show there. So it would have been different, I think.
Yeah, probably, but I think the record has had a very well. People loved it right away. I loved it too, and so the record is going well, and there's a lot of attention to music now that people are staying at home. I believe it is a good moment also for e-commerce, for ordering LPs, sales, merchandise. People is at home. They didn't spend much on going out, watching shows, and so they had a little bit more money to spend on ordering records and merch. So this is not bad for bands and labels, even if of course we are losing the live shows that are popular. the main reason we do this, but still.
But for bands that need to make a living out of it, it must be tough.
Yeah.
I have a question for you about that, but before that, we forgot one important part of the recipe of Giant Eagles, which is the voice of Mr. Speechless, because I think his voice has something unique and really magic, even if he will never admit it. I think that is one of those voices that make a special kind of feel in a punk rock record, kind of more like Lillington's kind of vibe. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, like he has a unique voice, I think so, and one we haven't heard, So that's so that's pretty cool. Like it's a new voice in a way. Yeah.
And it's good that people talk about him because he's also, if I'm not wrong, the guy behind all the most of the production for punk rock bands in Netherlands. So basically, he produced in his studio, many, all the Windowsill record, I guess, some Apers stuff, all the Lone Wolf stuff, a lot of stuff is because of him. So he, the punk rock in Netherlands owe him a lot.
A lot, yes,
talent.
we do for sure. Yeah,
and also all those records sounds great. So definitely,
I guess he's doing a good job then.
Yeah.
It is true. There is a question for you. There is a question for you, Luke. Is it difficult to play in so many bands? How you do remember all the tracks, and what about rehearsing?
Well, I guess remembering all the tracks it's after 25 years I guess you know how to organize that in your brain, so it comes naturally. I don't even think about that. Rehearsing is, well, with some bands difficult, and with some bands we just don't do it. With the Apers we never rehearse because we don't live in the same country. Giant Eagles we only rehearse when we're gonna make a new record.
And also for the next year's show.
Here's a suggestion.
If we have a show, and that's the same with the Apers. If we have a show, me and Mikey rehearse together, and Kevin and Casper also rehearse together. Like we're gonna actually starting next week. I think we're gonna start rehearsing with Lone Wolf and Windowsill again. So it's finally starting up again a bit.
Happening again. That's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful. And talking about it, I guess moving to the next band that is not playing, punk rock, Second Worst Raduno, I think the connection, well, the Bad Bites for sure. Yeah, it's true because they well, you never know that could have been a possibility. It's true.
You never know. You never know.
That should be something like a reunion show.
Yes, it's true.
You never know.
That's a good idea. Let's see how many people here, are for that, but I'm sure everyone. But no, the connection I wanted to make is, because he's same songwriter mostly, but from Giant Eagles to the Windowsill, which is, another band that played Raduno. Probably, I must say that the one, I love all your bands, but with Windowsill, I have a special place in my heart also because, I toured with you a lot, and and I just think Marino is really one of the best pop punk songwriters right now. And what is the difference, in your opinion, in between the Giant Eagles reception and the Windowsill one? Because of course the songwriting is the same, guy. Of course we mentioned the voice of Speechless, but I saw you with Windowsill playing many Giant Eagles songs before being the Giant Eagle songs, maybe sometimes.
Well, like the songwriting is not like for Giant Eagles. It's a lot Simon, it's more Simon, I think, than Marino.
Okay.
To the Giant Eagles, yes. So that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's some songs are I didn't know that. Some songs are Simon and some songs are Marino.
Yeah, but mostly Simon.
Mostly Simon. Okay,
that was mostly Simon.
Yeah. And other than that, like the Miro was into it.
Hello, Merel.
We have to have the masks, or no masks, no bad-wise.
No show.
Well, Ivo, what is gonna happen is I believe you played almost every edition of Punk Rock Raduno so far.
Yeah.
And you played in your life with 5 bands, so we're gonna book each one of the 5 every year for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. We're just
I'll be there.
having fun with what's gonna happen this year.
Yeah. No, but to come back with to the Giant Eagles and the Windowsill, a big difference is I think that like with the Giant Eagles, those songs are already done. Like by the time they call me and Ox to play bass, like
Okay.
pretty much those songs are set.
Like a special man, studio musician.
Yeah. Kind of. And with the Windowsill, a lot of it is Marino has it done too, but I guess we tweak it a bit more when we rehearse with that.
Okay.
And what is the state of things with Windowsill? Every time I speak with you, there is always a new Windowsill record coming up,
Yeah,
or
there
at
is.
least
It is.
Oh, there is, really?
Yeah, there is. Hopefully, it's really almost done. Marino, it better be almost done. No. They were aiming hopefully for the end of this year, but it's probably going to be next year, beginning next year.
Beautiful. It's always a good news, and do you have a favorite Windowsill record? Because you released a lot of stuff in the recent years. You did 3 full lengths, right? And 2 10 inches or 1 2. Yeah, and 3, okay, and then many 7 inches, a lot of songs. I think it's a material for at least 5 albums. You released songs for at least 5 albums.
The thing is, because they take so long recording it, by the time it comes out, I have no idea what's on it anymore. Like I get the record. Oh, these songs. Oh yeah, I think I remember something like that. So it's kind of difficult sometimes.
You're like some of those actors in the Marvel universe, the MCU, that they shoot scenes, and sometimes they don't even know in which movie of the Marvel universe are gonna be.
Exactly. That's kind of how I feel about it. And of course, they are in the process. Like once those drums are done, they do the thing with the guitar and the vocals, so they're still busy with it. But like I'm not anymore. So yeah.
Let's explain it. The reason for that is because like recording with Speechless, like basically, you have a different schedule than the normal bands, probably, booking studio time for like, let's say a specific week, but probably working with him, you can, lay down the drums and then working, some days and some others not, or taking even like 1 month out just to record like the guitars or the vocals. So
we do the drums in a weekend in the practice room, like we record it there, and then they do the home recording. I mean they they do the vocals and the guitar at his house, so they can take their time. And sometimes, well, it's a good thing, but it also creates a longer period of recording.
Nice. No, I really can't wait.
I don't know if it's nice, Franz.
No, but you know why I think it's nice? Because I think a lot of bands doesn't have the luck or the opportunity to, I can see Marino, saying like, okay, I have these 15 songs or 20 songs, and I'm gonna finish these 10 for the next album, and then these others I'm gonna put them on a split. Or
songs in my life.
It's a good thing to do, because it's you don't make records out of what you have in a specific moment, but you can build up the record in a more different way, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
But I guess it's frustrating sometimes for you, because
I got used to it, so it's okay. I'm not frustrated with it.
Favorite Windowsill record?
Ooh,
Like for people that never heard about Windowsill and is following or will watch from this and say like, okay, where should I start?
yeah, I think the first one then.
First
Just
one.
start with the first one.
That came out on Stardom, beautiful record. Yeah, many classics on that one. Many classics. Right. Cool.
I like them all, but I think that's the best.
Cool. And the other records we should also mention, they got released on Monster Zero, on Shield's recording, on Hey Pizza, the latest split with Jagger Holly, and which is also really beautiful. And moving to the next band that is not gonna play.
Are the Windowsill playing or not?
Windowsill are not gonna play Second Worst Raduno. Let's see about Punk Rock Raduno 5. You never know because Punk Rock Raduno 5 is not confirmed at all. But if they have a new record, this could be
maybe.
I'm opening the door and see if you can in, without having to offer billions. Let's see. But what else? Okay, next band not playing. Second Worst Raduno, which is gonna happen.
We say the Eagles are not playing. We say the Bad Bites are not playing. We say the Windowsill are not playing. So it goes down to Lone Wolf or Apers.
Okay, so we should what we should do now. So
no, it's your show, Franz.
Okay. So I think
we don't plan these kind of things. We just
the band that is not gonna play Punk Rock Raduno 5. No, Second Worst Raduno. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Is Lone Wolf, which means we are gonna be lucky, happy, proud to have the comeback of the Apers in Italy and to play a show after a long time to the Second Worst Raduno. This is official. Mark your calendar. Go out with the news. Print the papers. The Apers are gonna come back for a Second Worst Raduno, which is honestly one of the reasons why we decided to book Second Worst Raduno. As long when we started planning it, we said like which band we should do. And then we said like it would be really great if the Apers played. So I sent a message to all of you guys, and you, strangely enough, you said like yes, why not? And that gave us a big push. That so we should say thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you guys, and glad you're doing it. I mean, I was not there last year when you did it. The Worst Raduno, but I heard good things about it, obviously, and
it was good. This year is gonna be a little less worse, a little less crappy.
25th anniversary is true. Actually, the idea came from the fact that last year Kevin contacted me, say like, "Hey, we would like to do some shows in Italy to celebrate 25th." Anniversary of the Apers, and I was like, sure. So came back to my mind, we must celebrate anyway. I want to go into details about the Apers, what is the state of the band now, 25 years of music, but we also should mention Lone Wolf, because we should start from there and say like
we should do Lone Wolf first because that was one of the bands that didn't play. So
it's true. So
well, about the Lone Wolf, they played Raduno many times, and also they have been the backing band for Dr. Frank, and so they're really good friends of the festival. And we know they're not playing this year; they're gonna play probably the next or the year after. But of course, they're gonna play Raduno again, and we hope to see them all as soon as possible. Anyway. Here in Italy or when we're touring up there.
Because Lone Wolf is playing Punk Rock Raduno 5 actually, because we still are gonna do Oh yeah, of course, because we have the Stardom. You know, he spent 2 years, but in Stardom Day there is Lone Wolf and one of the bands confirmed.
Oh, okay.
So yes,
the only thing I
they
know
are gonna
about
play.
Raduno 5 is that the Lillingtons are disbanded, and then the rest of the lineup I can't remember it because it was 2 years ago already.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, we have to talk about. We have to think about it later.
Who's playing Raduno 5? I just said, well, the Lillingtons are not, and all the others are confirmed. That's all I said.
It's still so far away, man. Ooh.
Yeah, no, but we want to do it as suppose at least the Stardom anniversary, which is not gonna be the anniversary that it used to be, but at least having those bands. I think we are gonna do it. The Metadons are confirmed. The Huntingtons are confirmed. The Lone Wolf are confirmed. Geoff Palmer is confirmed. Lucy and the Reds is confirmed. So that day is totally confirmed. So
it's gonna be fun anyway.
Absolutely, and also we must mention that. First of all, it's great that you guys, after Bad Bites, after the Apers, you guys put together a new, fresh band and with an energy and an enthusiasm that was really, really, really inspiring, because it's not that you did like a band playing like, few shows here and there and stuff, but you really went for it, all the way. Like you went to play festivals outside of the country, you went touring, you went to Canada, you went, you really tried your best to do an actual, punk band as you used to, correct?
Yeah, I think we tried to do all the things we could do, and luckily we could. Like we got asked at festivals, and we could asked at shows in Belgium and Germany, and yeah, we enjoyed it very much, for sure. And we had big plans also for last year.
Yeah. Because your second record, which is great, came out, and I'm sure that must have been a little bit frustrating that you put out a beautiful record, the promotion and plans for touring and stuff, and you had to stop everything, right?
Yeah, it was too bad.
What was the main idea behind the starting of the Lone Wolf? What was what you had in mind, what you guys had in mind, besides
you have been asked to join the band when it was already an idea. How was it pitched to you?
How did it go? We Ox and Mero. Ox had a plan for some different kind of music, and I guess we were just at a birthday party or somewhere, and it just started rolling. And a couple of weeks later, we were in a practice room, and obviously Mero and me have played a bunch of times together with the Apers and the Bad Bites, and I never got to play with Ox, but like we knew each other for a long time, and
I believe it wasn't hard for him to fit.
No, indeed, and like
his experience and friendship with you all.
And for me, with the Windowsill was more of like a recording band, and then once in a while we did some shows, and the Apers were not doing that much stuff anymore. Kevin lives over there with Casper, so it's like it's just not possible to get it all going. And Insanity Alert was doing great, so I guess this was just the next step of a new band. Like let's do it. And Oxamero had some great tunes from the start, and we made the record, and that's where it went off.
Yeah. Do you feel like that the fact that Lone Wolf started and being so, in a way, they wanted to do things, they wanted to make things happen, that helped us as well, like the new start of Stardom Records? Because I think you represent well Stardom Records right now.
Yeah, Yeah, maybe. I'm not entirely sure if that was really the start of the new boost of energy that Stefan got, but it might have something to do with it. Like, yeah, I guess it was around that time, so maybe.
Because it's rare to have, not young by age, but a new band that is able to put so much effort in promoting a record. Me and Andrea knows well. One of the problems releasing a new record is like, okay, now the band must go on tour.
Yeah.
And it's more rare for us now to do it because you grow up, you have families and stuff, and but yeah, I think many times I spoke with Stefan. He told me like every band should be like a lone wolf, because they go out and do things. But
well, like, I don't know. Like, not every band has the opportunity to do that, and we did, luckily, and we wanted to also, but yeah, like I said, not every band can just do that so easily. Not every person is willing to to give up their vacation days for their job and go on a tour, or something like that, or even feels like doing it. Like, there's tons of people who love to play in a band but don't want to go on a trip for 2 or 3 weeks.
Sometimes you gotta be careful what you wish for, and for some bands, and even mine in some moments of our history, the fact that somehow magically someone comes and say, okay, starting tomorrow, you are a professional musician, you go touring like 8 months a year, you record a record every year or two. I don't know how many bands that still are working hard to get to a point where they are professional. I don't know how many bands could say, okay, yes, I'm doing. I mean, it could probably be more scary than a good news.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Yeah.
We have a couple questions from the audience, and we invite you to ask even more questions. So let's start with some hard questions. What is the worst record which came out with you on drums?
Whoa.
Awful question. How can you ask that?
We are not gonna go on without an answer on this,
Well, probably, like, people might
just
maybe
think about a record that you believe was not quite what you expected when you recorded it.
Yeah. Well, that's probably Skies Are Turning Blue of the Apers.
The third one. Yeah. Why is that?
I think as a band we were not in such a good place at that time, and like, we had 3 songwriters. Jerry, all Marine, Kevin, and Jerry all wrote 4 songs for that record.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows, like, it's just not, it's not a whole record. And plus we recorded it somewhere where we probably shouldn't have recorded it. Like, the guy didn't really knew what to do with us, and we didn't really knew what we were doing. It was poorly rehearsed, I think. Like, all in all, it was just,
Okay.
I like the songs that are on it, but like,
there are many good songs. There are many good songs on that record. So you're not. It was not aligned with a good moment for the band. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I want to ask a question about that one, connecting with that one. There was a moment in your career as a musician that you thought you will be a musician for life, or as a main job. When you started, you probably started as a passionate punk rocker and stuff, and you just wanted to play shows and touring. But then there was ever a moment with the Apers, because let's face it, you have been kind of popular for at least some time,
Yeah.
at least in Netherlands and stuff.
In the
There
Netherlands.
was a moment that you say like, okay, I'm gonna, try to be a musician as a main job.
There was indeed a time where we did good in the Netherlands, to actually say we're gonna try and like give up our day jobs and be magicians. I don't think that really like happened, or that we really thought that was gonna happen. And by the time we could have been thinking about it, it was already like gone. That moment.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's hard to do that. I think like you could not just so easily say we're gonna do this, and I think our backgrounds are too we're too safe. Like we grew up in very safe environments, like stuff that Larry Livermore was talking about, like with working class, and like we were middle class kids.
Yeah.
And so I think I get what he was talking about.
About the bands coming from a more like working class, that they didn't had any other choice. They just went all the way to
exactly. And we had those choices. Like sure, I gave up one. We could go to the States for 5 weeks of touring, and I quit my job for that. But like I was what, 21, 22, maybe something like that. So like it's like you can still do that, from the backgrounds where we were, like, yeah.
What I think is you can probably have a goal or living of music and being a musician, but most of the times that's what I learned, at least pretty soon in my music career history. Most of the times this can happen for a limited number of years. Like you can be a pro for a few years, for a few records. You can get a big contract, but it can last for a couple albums. And then you're back and your ass is on the ground. So what, for example, my band did is you think about planning your life in a way that you can, try to live, get on with music for as long as you want.
Yeah.
And not having to live off of it, because that can be a failure.
No, I agree, and that's what we did
for a smooth way
30 years
the
already.
game, but still not in right into the game.
No,
that's probably what you guys did. You guys have been very good. You've been both very talented and very lucky in a certain moment of the Apers career when you had a good success. And the punk scene was at its peak, so it was a really good moment for your band, and you totally deserved it. So, but you probably, with the experience, understood that there was not much around that corner.
No, that was the top,
Yeah, the good thing you did as a musician, as a passionate person, and all your friends in the Rotterdam scene, you guys showed that you were not there for success. You were not there for anything more than anything different than passion, and you showed it because you're still there. I mean, Stefan is still releasing records. Most of you guys playing in bands 20 years ago. Are you still playing in bands? And you showed, so you deserve a lot of respect from the whole, punk rock scene, in my opinion.
Thank you.
There wasn't.
And likewise, Andrea, because you're still, and you too, Franz. You guys are still doing it too. So I mean,
well, we don't have anything else to do, we failed in everything else, so we are still here. No, sometimes I think about it. I mean, it's not that we didn't fail in everything, okay? But let's say, if we do it, is because we still feel really attached to it, because it gave us a lot. Let's put it, we cannot lie the fact that we accomplished our dreams in some way. We toured the world. We make the records we want to make. We so in a way we have been really all of us have been really successful. So there is a reason why we are here. Because if we didn't accomplish anything, that's harder probably. But in particular for you, I was wondering, after you realized you could never make a career as a musician, does that really? How did you felt about it? You just said like, okay, I'm gonna have a day job, but I'm gonna play anyway.
Oh no, it never came that far. Like I never had I never saw myself as a musician, like living out of this. I didn't see that happening. Like that was not the goal. That
no expectation.
The goal is to set up your life in a way where you can still play and chase your passion, and at the same time make a decent living without being too stressed out, and without never having the choice between one life or the other. I believe that's the best you can do.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so if you didn't have that expectation, what are your expectations now as a musician? Like, I'm sure you have goals, like
it's really nice of you to call me a musician the whole time, Franz. Thank you for that.
No problem. As much as
it doesn't happen that much.
Well, to me, one guy that, how many records you played in, probably more than, a lot of other people that, say that they are professional musicians. So, to me, you will always be like a drummer and one of the most active and great and influential punk drummers, because in gen also one thing that I love about you, which is your way of drumming and your style really reflect your person, because he's one of those drummers, in my opinion, that has style, that fits well in a lot of bands and always never feel like out of his place. And you feel the missing of it when you're not there. Is someone, maybe you're not frontline, you're not the guy that always in the spotlight, but at the same time when you're not there, both as a person on tour or on the drums, then you can really feel the missing, which is, that's why also many bands want you, I guess.
So the message is, don't take Ivo for granted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We can steal your Ivo and bring you down to Italy, and we can have like so many bands started, and
yeah, for sure.
The secret
I don't know. It's also like, don't forget, it's not so easy to find drummers, I guess. Like it's yeah.
Not in Rotterdam.
No, not in Rotterdam.
But now, what are your expectations now? After so many records, is the next record, or is just like, oh, you want to tour America again, or
like with Lone Wolf, we're working with new material for the next new record next year. Yeah, for sure. And hopefully we can tour with that again. Like, come over to Italy, Raduno, the fest, Busa. Like, actually, like what we had planned for last year, we hope to do next year.
Yeah. But there is something that you would like to do that you never did before. Like, for example, let's say, one day I want to open for, I don't know, like U2 or whatever big bands in a big stadium, or what else, you don't know. I want to record a record in America with that producer, or anything that is in your dreams, in your list of things that you would like to do before the retirement of drumming, which will never happen probably.
No, probably not. I don't know. I guess I would like to make another record with the Apers at some point. Like, that would be nice.
That's a news. That's a news. Let's see what Kevin says about it in the chat.
That would be great. Italy's close to Austria. Yeah.
I don't know what he was referring to, but
I don't know.
yeah, that's it. Well, one thing about the Apers that I really enjoy that not so many people mention is that you have many records out and many singles and many splits and many songs, and still your latest record contain some of the most. It's not that people say like, oh, I love the Apers of the first two albums and then they became so and so, or or you play sets of the first two albums.
No.
The last album contains some of the most iconic songs of the Apers.
Now, yeah, he gets crazier and crazier, Kevin. Yeah.
Yes.
In your basement, Franz.
Please.
I guess like Kevin stepped it up at some point. Like he with songs that are more funnier and like he's at some point he stepped away from the love songs a bit.
Okay.
Like not with all the songs, but like for like Mozzarella is not really a typical love song.
It's not a love song.
No, but it's fucking funny as hell. I think so. But of course, I was there when we had those talks about being a mozzarella lying in Italy in the sun. Like that helps. But yeah, he like how he is. I mean, yeah.
No, but I agree with you. Like there has been a change in the songwriting of Kevin. I guess we should let's see what he says. But I don't want to say he became more on the verge of songwriting of Fat Mike he became really sarcastic and ironic about things, which is something that not so many songwriters do. Because you sometimes feel he's not one of those guys that really make you feel like a feeling. But now he talks about subjects or topics, and he has a really good and funny take on that topic. Even the cookbook or the all those things. They are iconic in a way. You don't have those songs too much anymore, and that's why they became iconic. Maybe let's see what Kevin says.
I think so too. Exactly. Like you don't like that kind of songwriting. You don't see that much, I think.
Yeah. Also because people is too worried. Yeah. It's too worried to offend other people. That's the other part of it,
Ivo, do you have what happens if I don't know, maybe Kevin comes up in the studio with an idea you don't find funny or you don't like? You discuss about it, or he have the last say?
He mostly has the last say. I mean, like in the end, I don't write those songs, and that's.
You respect. You tend to respect. Respect. Maybe that applies to every band you play with. You tend to respect the songwriters, and you're not really into. Imposing ideas if you have different ideas.
No, not really. Sure, I will probably say or said that this is not my favorite song, man. But yeah,
very kindly,
but and I think that's it also goes the other way, that like if I put down a drum track underneath it, they will also not question it that much, Like they will also accept it as how it is or went.
Sure.
I hope. Yeah.
I have a question connected about this. Someone is writing, of the original lineup of the Apers and through the years, you and Kevin are the only ones, there since the beginning, because you had Kevin, and Marino, and then you had many lineup changes. People came, people went, etc. So now basically the Apers is you and him, because they are, the two guys there since the beginning. So Are you so nice that you could stand him so much, or he treats you better because he doesn't want to lose the only drummer in the Netherlands?
No. I don't know, Franz. You have to ask him. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want me to say to this?
No, I mean not, but I mean, you must be really good friends because you're in a band together since 25 years, So
yeah, well,
it's basically.
I think so, but like, don't forget that Kevin already he's probably living there already for what, 10 years. He can probably tell us better, but like he's living in Austria a long time already. Like it's like even at the end when he was still living in Rotterdam, like I don't think we were that close friends anymore as when we started. 12 years, there you go. Like it's how do you say this? Like it at some point you go your own ways also,
Mm-hmm.
Is Kevin the Johnny Ramone of the Apers? You find your own interests also after 15 years playing in a band. Then like you don't do the same kind of things anymore.
Oh yeah, that's totally normal.
Of course, yeah. Of course, absolutely.
And like the thing you said about me and Kevin like being the Apes. Also, don't forget that Mikey is in this band also probably for 6 or 7 years already. Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
Feels new, but
the current lineup is pretty stable and has been together for a long time. But yeah, the Apers had a long list of members, but probably you and Kevin have been the only. I mean, around you and Kevin, there has been a long list of members from what I recall. I saw you. I saw you guys for the first time. I think you were a 3-piece. I don't know. The first time you came to Italy, you were a 3-piece or a 4-piece?
A 4-piece, like with the retarded.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the first time I saw you, you were already a 4-piece.
Yeah.
20 years ago or more.
A 3-piece?
3-piece. I remember that too.
Oh, was it the second to it?
In 2000.
Okay. 2000, 3-piece. Okay.
Yeah, that's you were on the cover of Parco Dio.
The first time I saw you guys, and I think I saw a lot of different lineups.
Yeah, I know.
Because I was there. But still, the good thing about the Apers is that anyway, whoever's in the band in that moment, with you and Kevin, it feels pretty natural. So. I believe all those Thunder Road. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that was a good night. Thunder Road was used to be a club in the near Voghera.
Wasn't it near Voghera?
Oh, okay. I thought it was near Alessandria. Anyway, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But I remember that night well. It was we played indeed with the Menzies, and for some reason Manuel asked to borrow my snare drum that night.
Because that's
we had never met. Like this was the first time we were playing with the Menzies.
No, I don't know why. He used to carry his stuff all the time, so I don't know why.
Yeah, but it was fine. I said, Manuel, yeah, fine. You can use my snare drum, and then he gave it back, and apparently Manuel hits like a motherfucker, and I know he plays with the stick upside down, like with the end, and there was almost a hole in the middle of my snare drum.
Really?
Yeah, and I got it back.
He's not really that much of a hard hitter. I remember. I think there is an opposite story where he lent you something and he came out like a pedal or something. No, it was a. Yeah, anyway,
that was payback. That was payback. It was payback.
Good memories. But I remember you as a three-piece in the cover of Parcodio, which was the fanzine of Paolo from Retarded.
I designed the cover, actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I designed it on a software called Corel Draw, which used to be popular in the 90s before Photoshop became big. And
cool.
yeah, I designed that cover of Parcodio.
That was, yeah. I remember people was really excited when you arrived, and for you discovering that scene in Italy, how was that? Like when you came for the first time, on tour here.
Crazy. I mean, it was one of the first times we went outside of Holland. We I guess we had been in Germany a couple of times, and it was what was so crazy was that we got there, and then there were kids just like us doing the same thing, playing the same kind of music. It's nowadays with the internet.
Yeah, you wouldn't be that.
Yeah, indeed. But back then it was. Yeah, that was really cool. Like that changed the whole scene. Like when we went out there, and then the internet started up, and Stardom Records and stuff happened. In Italy, in Germany, in Holland.
And then you came back many times as a four-piece too with Jerry, and Arthur mentioned a lot that night in Circolo degli Artisti in Rome. You slept at his place, he said, and he wants to, say if you remember it, because he said that he really loved you guys and he missed those days.
I loved you guys too, but I don't remember it, I think.
And
maybe with Calvin, you were a three-piece again at some point, right?
Yeah, but that was much later. With Calvin.
Yeah. Three-piece again. Yeah.
And in 25 years of the Apers, what is I'm sure you have so many good memories, and what is the moment of the Apers that really stuck to your mind? Like, that you if you think about 25 years, suddenly for a reason you remember a particular moment, maybe the first practice or the first, is there anything that you say like, okay,
yeah, there's so many, Franz. Like we've like that first time we went to Italy, where we met Retarded at the Blockbusters, playing CBGBs, meeting up with the Sonic Dolls for weekends. Like we did some weekends with Sonic Dolls in Germany and Netherlands. Really cool. Hanging out with the Bagger Creatures, stuff like that. Jens Bumper, like playing fuckloads of shows in the Netherlands in crappy like rooms and places, for 0 people. With Yuri, remember, like he's been with us for so long back then. Going to Japan, like name it. There's so many fronts. Like yeah.
It seems though a lot of your good memories is about more the people rather than the satisfaction of doing something like an album or playing in front of an audience. Like to me, it seems like you really value the fact that you met other people, like other bands and stuff like that.
Of course, yeah, it is. That was one of the main things we like to do. Like indeed, meet mind-like people all over the world.
Yeah, and playing in Lone Wolf now, I think you guys, but just like the Apers, back in the days we had this idea that American bands in general or Canadian bands were, in a level that European bands will hardly top, But then, bands like the Manges, like the Apers, many other bands, like we now see that our bands are well considered overseas too. And do you think from our perspective, like for example, Lone Wolf, when you see Lone Wolf and go to play in Canada, for example, what do you think the level is? You think, you're at that level with the other bands, like playing, songwriting, doing records?
Of course.
Yeah, I think so. With some bands, yeah, I think so. I think we're a good band.
No, and I ask you this because I want to connect the fact that if I don't remember wrong, you started together with Kevin, or you were part of the beginnings of Monster Zero label. Is it correct? Do
Yeah.
you remember correct? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I remember the beginning of that label was great because it was a point of we want to release European bands and want to show that European bands are at the level of, So how was the beginning of the label and why you are not involved anymore? It's like,
Well, I was like me involved with Monster Zero. Like I made some packages like to be sent out around Europe, with records. I made a fanzine with Mero. I didn't have much to do with like contacting the bands or anything. Like that was all Kevin.
Strategy of the label, usually just to put in your time to help.
Indeed. I was never like that much of being a part of Monster Zero. Like sure, like we helped him out, and we did all we could to same with Stardom Records, I guess, in the beginning. But it was Kevin all along, like at Monster Zero for sure. Like yeah. And then he moved to Austria also, like around that time.
Yeah, so it was more difficult to help him.
But I remember the beginning of Monster Zero was really pushed by the Apers touring a lot, because I remember the first release, for example, was the Magwam CD, and you bought it on tour and you were selling for cheap price. So
the first release was a Bad Bite CD.
Yeah, the Creatures of the Night.
Yeah,
was it the first one or the second?
That's the Zero number one.
No, I think it's Magwams. I'm pretty sure.
It's the Magwams, I think.
Magwams. Okay.
No, but like
which is Monster Zero number one? Please.
No, but for Kevin that was ideal, of course. Like we also did with Stardom. Like we brought the whole distro with us, like to shows. That's how you do it. And,
there you go, Magwams. Bad Bites number 4.
Number 4.
I thought it was number 1. Anyway, my mistake.
Still number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah. No, but yeah, we brought the distro, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Because I felt it was a really good, Kevin is doing a beautiful job in, still promoting and releasing and helping a lot of young bands. And of course, the fact that he was touring with the Apers really gave, at least distribution, and showed. I think that the Magwams, for example, is a good example. Like the record came out earlier, probably 2 years before on vinyl on Bachelor, but not so many punk rockers noticed it, and then Kevin reissued it on CD for the first time, and then suddenly everyone was into the Magwams. I remember that really well, and so that made a difference. I remember, yeah. So that's great, and it's great.
Like Bachelor Records also didn't have maybe like I'm not sure, but like didn't have that reach to those kind of kids. I guess like the pop punk kids.
Yeah, because it's more maybe garage and garage punk Bachelor. Yeah,
true. It's true.
But
I also like one thing that I think is really cool about the Rotterdam punk rock scene is that you are a real community helping each other. I forget sometimes that Merrill does a lot of layout for used to do layout for Monster Zero, but also Stardom, and then you guys collaborate in every project basically, all around, and it's not like a huge amount of people involved in this, but those people are there, helping each other, which is always great. So
Rotterdam, do you guys have any club, any gathering place for you, or do you just probably I know we have an age where we're not hanging out every night with a beer in our hands.
No.
Still,
well, you've been on the ship where you played on the New Year's, the V11.
Yeah, lovely.
And before the pandemic, that was one of the main places where we had parties and saw bands, and so I hope we're just gonna get back to that also,
Oh yeah, sure. How's the situation? Are the clubs reopening?
No, the club's not. Like the last week they opened up the terraces for bars.
Yeah,
but not
same
inside yet. No,
yeah,
like
same
restaurants and bars are still closed inside.
Same as here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, guys.
So yeah,
what?
No,
Yep.
yeah, we just have to wait and see what's gonna happen. When things can open.
I think so. Well, at least we have Second Worst Raduno, which is going to happen 16, 17, and 18 of July. And we just announced that we are going to see one of the best drummers in punk rock in Europe again, behind this drum kit, playing some classic Apers song. The day is the 17th. And for those who cannot attend the show live in Bergamo, we are gonna also live stream it. So that's the other news. So we are gonna live stream it through this Twitch. So if you cannot join the party live, don't worry. You can follow the Apers, which just announced that they want to do a new record, which is a fantastic news in my opinion.
At least one of these guys wants to do a new record.
Exactly. At least one guy wants to do the record.
Which is a start.
It is a start.
I believe in a new Apers record. I have no doubt.
It will probably happen some way or another.
Yeah, and Kevin is mentioning, the club that everyone loved and missing, the waterfront in Rotterdam. Beautiful.
Yeah, they made sadly they made a mistake in the city. I think I'm not really sure how it went, but there was a big club and the waterfront, and they decided to keep open the big club and close down the waterfront back then, and they should not have done that. They should have done it the other way around.
Yeah. One of the posters hanging on my living room is from Rotterdam Rumble. The one of the classic waterfront nights, and I keep it. That venue really set the tone of Europe punk shows for a while, and festivals. That's
it was good. A lot of fun parties.
Really great. So if we don't have any more questions, like there is Arthur then that is asking for a print of the discography of Apers on vinyl because he cannot find it. Actually, it's true. Like it's not easy to find like Apers on vinyl anymore.
Your past records haven't been in print for a while, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like they haven't been reprinted. What? Sorry?
Being the band not active, it is, quite common that probably your first records are not in print or not available.
No, indeed. Yeah. Like they haven't. Like the first one was reprinted by Asian Man, I think, but other than that, not so much. Indeed.
So, Big Boss Kevin, you have people interested.
Kevin and Stefan should do something about it.
Oh, here we have a look at this. Look at this.
Nice.
Live.
Yeah, the
it's
split
happening live.
Yeah, let's
Pulce
do it.
from Batman, he wants to do a print on vinyl. Yes, of the Apers and Retarded, which originally came out on Winona Records out of Genova.
Yeah.
And so let's do it. What I give you this. It's a good idea, and I tell you more. I think you can make it happen in time for Second Worst Raduno. You should try to do it, Pulce and Kevin. You should do it in time for Second Worst Raduno, which is in 2 months. So I think you have enough time to make that happen.
Yeah, totally. Make it.
If we can do that, that would be masterpiece. Incredible. So Ivo, we don't keep you any longer because your girlfriend has been so kind to
I know
give us the
she's
permission.
waiting for us to watch Lego Masters on television. So
So yeah, thanks to her for allowing us to talk with you. And
Yeah, of course.
yep, you're welcome.
because let's say this, in order to fulfill your dreams as a punk rocker musician and to still be able to take your holidays and go playing in punk bands, you also need a really special, beautiful and understanding girlfriend. Otherwise
do.
you don't do it.
You do, and she has been for 20 years already.
So congratulations to her and to you both, actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, Ivo, thank you so much.
Thank
Let me
you
see
for
you
having me, man, and talk about bands and everything. Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you for the chat, and sending a lot of love to you and all our friends in Rotterdam. And I hope to see you guys soon. And of course, we're gonna see in a couple of months. So
yep, for sure we will. Thank you for having me. Good luck with all the organizing for Raduno.
Yes, exactly. Good luck. We need it.
Yeah,
we needed all the luck.
Cool. Ciao,
thank
ciao.
you so much, Ivo. And
Ciao.
thank you guys in the chat, and good night, I'd say.
Yeah. What a nice guy. He's always a pleasure.
I love him.
Yes, it's great. So, Andre, again, thank you all so much. See you 16 and 17 July.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Ciao, belli. And, again, the Apers are announced. So, let's see. Next week, let's see who is going to be the guest for the next week. But for sure, maybe we are going to announce another band. What do you think, Andrea?
I believe we're announcing another band pretty soon, and in the middle of this week. And I believe we're going to announce another band on next Sunday. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Fantastic. Okay, perfect. We are going to announce who's going to be during the week. So take care, guys, and support all the bands of Ivo, support the Stripe Records, support the punk rock in general, because punk rock really needs it right now. And if you can keep yourself free 16, 17 and 18th, you are not going to regret it. We are trying our best, and the whole Punk Rock Raduno family is organizing it, and there is a lot of people behind the scenes that we are going to try to have here talking with you guys. So we must thank
the Apers
well.
are just the first band we announced it, but the lineup we came up with is pretty interesting in my opinion. I think this year Second Worst Raduno is going to be a very beautiful festival musically also, and we already know that the pizza is good at Edone, and the burgers too. So I believe the lineup of bands is coming up very good. I can't wait for you guys to see what we booked.
And if Andrea says so, we must believe it, and I believe it too now. Okay, Andre, good night. We talk to you soon.
Thank you guys. Ciao.
Ciao.